Vice President Kamala Harris plans for a historic stop at an abortion clinic in Minnesota. And a man who lived most of his life in an iron lung passes away. The Morning Rundown starts now.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world. This is the Morning Rundown.
Today is Thursday, March 14th. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kara Rucker. Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to make history today when she visits an abortion clinic in Minnesota. The White House saying this will be the first time any U.S. president or vice president has visited such a facility. Harris plans on touring a Planned Parenthood clinic as part of her nationwide Fight for Reproductive Freedoms tour, launched in response to the Supreme Court's 2022 decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. A White House official saying Harris will speak to healthcare providers and may talk to patients as well. After the Supreme Court's ruling, Minnesota, along with several other states, passed laws protecting abortion rights. Harris is expected to address how Minnesota has been affected by abortion bans in nearby states. Sources telling NBC News the exact location of the clinic Harris will be visiting has not been released yet due to concerns over protest. This will be the vice president's sixth stop in her tour, which kicked off in January on the anniversary of Roe v. Wade. A federal judge will hear arguments today from members of former President Donald Trump's legal team on why they believe his classified documents case should be dismissed. Trump is expected to be in the Florida courtroom for the hearing. Trump's legal team claims he was allowed to have the records in his possession protected under the Presidential Records Act. Special counsel Jack Smith's team argues the act does not apply to classified and top-secret documents. Trump's team is also expected to argue the part of the Espionage Act related to retaining national defense information is unconditionally vague when applied to the former president, which the special counsel refutes as well. Earlier this month, the judge heard arguments from both sides about setting a trial date. It's not known when the judge will make her rulings on the case. The federal gun case against Hunter Biden now has a tentative trial date. The judge says she plans to start the trial on June 3rd. The president's son has been charged with possessing a gun while using narcotics and allegedly lying about his drug use when he bought it. Hunter Biden's team and prosecutors believe the trial in Delaware is expected to last a maximum of 9 days. A separate trial on tax-related charges in California is set for June 20th. Hunter Biden has pleaded not guilty to all charges. As the Israeli military prepares for a major offensive in Rafah, it says it has plans to move a significant portion of the 1.4 million people living in Gaza's southernmost city before the operation begins. The military says it will move civilians to humanitarian islands created with the help of the international community in the center of the territory. There, temporary housing, food, water, and other necessities would be provided. Allies of Israel, including the United States, have warned of the consequences an attack on the densely crowded city could have. Most of the Palestinians living in Rafah are already displaced. Israel says in order to complete its mission to destroy Hamas, it must go into Rafah. A timeline on the evacuations or planned offensive is unknown. A 16-year-old non-binary student from Oklahoma, whose death made national headlines after a bullying incident, died by suicide, according to a new autopsy report. According to the medical examiner, the autopsy showed a combined toxicity from medications used for allergies and depression in Nex Benedict's system. A school fight inside a high school bathroom last month sparked significant outcry. Police say a report was filed by relatives after the student was hospitalized following the incident. Police had been awaiting autopsy results to confirm suspicions of suicide. Police said initial findings indicated Nex did not die from physical injuries suffered during the school fight. Finally this morning, a Texas man who lived in an iron lung for 7 decades and became a social media star in recent months has passed away. Paul Alexander was diagnosed with polio in 1952 at the age of 6 as the disease spread across Dallas. With Alexander paralyzed from the neck down and unable to breathe on his own, doctors placed him in an iron lung. Defying expectations, he graduated college, earned a law degree, and practiced as an attorney for 30 years. He also wrote an autobiography. His exact cause of death remains unclear, but it comes a few weeks after he was admitted to the hospital after contracting COVID-19. In January, Alexander started a TikTok account called Polio Paul, reaching hundreds of thousands of followers, where he answered questions about his life and advocated for children to get the polio vaccine. Paul Alexander was 78 years old. These are your top stories for this Thursday. Unbiased, straight facts. That's Straight Arrow News. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Until then, I'm Kara Rucker. Have a great day.